Welcome to Charles Barnum Discovery Expo. My name is Chase and I'll be your host today. As we look at some of the many activities the students are involved with, first let's talk to one of the organizers today.
Hi, Chase.
Hi.
How are you today?
Good, how are you?
Fine, thanks.
What types of activities will the students participate in?
So, our students at Charles Barnum get to participate in a cluster every Thursday for 40 minutes. They choose this based on their interests or passions. It can be anything from sewing to singing and dancing to hiking outdoors to creating stop motion magic movies.
That sounds fun. Who will help create each of these activities?
So the students that participated in their clusters, along with their teachers, took photos, may have created a product or a project that they are sharing with students. We also are welcoming Electric Boat here today to showcase some of their activities for our students to participate in as well.
Okay. How long did this take to organize?
Well, it's a culmination of the past 8 weeks of student work and participation, and so it comes together pretty quickly. It's really all driven by the students.
What do you hope that students will learn from this?
Well, I hope they continue to be excited about the different activities that they can join here at Charles Barnum. I hope it may spark a new passion or hobby in students, and I hope they're proud of the work that they've done for the past 8 weeks.
That sounds good. Thank you for putting this all together for our students.
Thanks, Chase. Thank you to you and Saul. After
You're welcome.
participating in your cluster, now you guys know how to be reporters.
Let's go. Hi, what's your name?
Lily,
What cluster did you participate in since you're new?
I did Busy Bees and Calling All the Yogis.
Did you like the two clusters?
Yeah,
Which one was your favorite if you had to pick?
probably Yogis because it's really relaxing.
That sounds fun. Describe a favorite activity or learning experience from the cluster.
I think my favorite one was probably the one where we made up like our own routines with our partners. That was really fun.
It was in the yoga one?
Yeah.
Did you have a favorite activity in the Busy Bees?
Probably getting on stage.
That was the favorite part? What future cluster would you like to join?
Probably the cooking one. I don't remember what it's called.
The Food Wizards? Why would you want to join?
Because I really like cooking, and I think it'd be cool to like do dinner with my mom and stuff.
That sounds fun. Thank you for talking to us.
Yeah.
Hi, what's your name?
My name is Randy, and I'm 10 years old.
What cluster did you participate in?
I just participated in the Stop Motion Magic Club
Why did you choose that cluster?
because I can test my intelligence and my creativity.
Describe a favorite activity or learning experience from the cluster.
Me building Legos with my friend Christian.
What future cluster would you like to join?
I might join in Winter Wonderland.
Thanks for talking to us. Hi, what's your name?
Emily,
What cluster did you participate in?
relax and draw.
Why'd you pick that cluster?
Well, mostly because I love drawing and want to be like my mom.
Describe a favorite activity or learning experience from the cluster.
At the beginning of each class, there would be someone who would go up and sit on a chair or something, and we would draw them in under 2 minutes.
You would draw someone under 2 minutes?
Yeah, you weren't really focused about the details. You would focus on what pose they're in.
Oh. What future cluster would you like to join?
Food Wizards.
Why would you want to join Food Wizards?
Because I'm hungry all the time and making food is fun.
So you would want to join the Food Wizards because you're hungry at the time and you like making food.
Yes.
Thank you for talking to us. Bye-bye. Hi, what's your name?
My name is Orion.
What cluster did you participate in?
Busy Bees Theater.
Why did you choose that cluster?
Because I just wanted to be in the theater.
Describe a favorite activity or learning experience from the cluster.
Getting to be a monkey.
What future cluster would you like to join?
A sewing cluster.
Why would you like to join that cluster?
Because I've always really wanted to learn how to crochet and sew.
Oh, thanks for talking to us.
You're welcome.
Hi, what's your name?
Jaden.
What cluster do you participate in?
The newbies cluster.
Why did you choose that cluster?
Because I wanted to be in the play.
That sounds fun. Describe a favorite activity or learning experience from the cluster?
I liked singing the songs and practicing for the play.
What's the future cluster you would like to join?
Get moving.
Thanks for talking to us. Hi, what's your name?
Lumen,
What cluster do you participate in?
the Newbies Theater Company.
Why did you choose that cluster?
It involves going on stage in crazy costumes.
Describe a favorite activity or learning experience from the cluster.
I get to learn new songs.
What future cluster would you like to join?
I don't know yet.
Thanks for talking to us.
You're welcome.
Hi, what's your name?
Jaquan.
What cluster did you participate in?
Winter Wonderland.
What cluster? Why did you choose that cluster?
Because of the name, probably.
From the name?
Yeah.
Describe a favorite activity or learning experience from the cluster.
It's probably doing the we was like cutting out papers and stuff.
Was that your favorite?
Yeah.
What future cluster would you like to join?
The food cluster.
Why would you want to join the food cluster?
Cause I saw them making like cool stuff there.
So you're talking about like the Food Wizards?
Mhm.
Thanks for talking to us.
All right.
Hi, what's your name?
My name's Haley Coley Calicia.
What cluster did you participate in?
Okay, it was like the cooking cluster.
The Food Wizards?
Yeah.
Oh.
I love their cluster.
Why did you choose that cluster?
I love to cook. It's the best thing ever. The foods are so tasty.
Describe a favorite activity or learning experience from the cluster.
It was the smoothies. It tasted so good.
What future cluster would you like to join?
A cluster that's kind of like that, like art.
Thanks for talking to us.
You're welcome. I'm so happy to be in this school.
Hi, what's your name?
Gabriel.
What cluster do you participate in?
Get moving.
Why did you choose that cluster?
Because I wanted to get moving and I wanted to get out this spring.
Describe a favorite activity or learning experience from that cluster.
Playing Gaga.
What future cluster would you like to join?
The newbies.
Thanks for talking to us. You can say you're welcome.
You're welcome.
Hi, what's your name?
Marshall.
What cluster do you participate in?
Get moving.
Why did you choose that cluster?
Because I like to get moving.
Describe a favorite activity or learning experience from the cluster.
To always, when you play a game, when you lose, don't cry or give up. Just do it again.
What future cluster would you like to join?
I don't know.
Okay, thanks for talking to us.
You're welcome.
Hi, what's your name?
Raphael,
What cluster did you participate in?
the great outdoors,
Why did you choose that cluster?
because I like going out and exploring.
Describe a favorite activity or learning experience from the cluster.
I like making a shelter.
What future cluster would you like to join?
I don't really know.
If you could, what would it be?
The great outdoors.
You'd pick the great outdoors again? Okay, thanks for talking to us.
You're welcome.
Hi, what's your name?
Kara.
What cluster did you participate in?
That's so awesome.
Why did you pick that? Why did you choose that cluster?
Because I like sewing.
Describe a favorite activity or learning experience from the cluster.
Making the God's eye.
Okay. What future cluster would you like to join?
I have no idea.
But if so, wait, what was the cluster again?
That's so awesome.
If that was a cluster in the future, would you join it again?
Yeah.
Okay, thanks for talking to us.
Okay.
Okay, just welcome. Hi, what's your name?
Ariel.
What cluster did you participate in?
Busy Bees.
Why did you choose that cluster?
Because I love acting.
So you like acting, so you joined the cluster because it was your favorite?
Yes.
Describe a favorite activity or learning experience from the cluster.
I love how they show you how to create new emotions.
So that was the favorite thing? What future cluster would you like to join?
Maybe like a cluster where I don't really know. The cluster I have is perfect right now.
If that cluster was next year, would you would you go in that cluster again?
Yes, definitely.
Okay. Thanks for talking to us.
No problem.
Hi, what's your name?
Dylan,
What cluster did you participate in?
the Busy Bees.
Why'd you choose that cluster?
I don't know.
So you don't know why you choose that cluster?
It was kind of a random choice.
Oh. Describe a favorite activity or learning experience from the cluster.
Probably being in the part and being able to run off the stage.
That was your favorite part, running off the stage? What future cluster would you like to join?
Stop motion.
Why would you want to join stop motion?
I'm kind of one of those people who just want to like record and make new stuff.
So like you want to make like new things?
Yeah.
Okay. Wait. Thanks. Sorry. Why would you? So you would like to join that cluster to make new sounds? But why?
I think it's because my brother has a YouTube account and I've been like learning off of him making videos, so I'm trying to do the same thing.
Oh, that sounds fun. Thanks for talking to us.
Yep. You're welcome. Bye.
Hi, what's your name?
Noah.
What cluster did you participate in?
I don't know.
How do you not know your cluster?
I don't know the name of it.
What did you guys do in it?
Stop motion?
So your cluster was stop motion.
I think so.
Why'd you choose that cluster? If it was.
I don't know.
So you choose that cluster for no reason? You just had to choose?
Yes.
Okay. Describe a favorite activity or learning experience from the cluster?
Stop motion.
Like, what was the best thing in? Like, what was your favorite activity in there? In stop motion.
creating the stop motion.
Okay.
No, going through slides again.
Okay. What future cluster would you like to join? Pick what's the bus. Pick what's the bus.
What's the bus?
Okay. Good job. Why would you like to join that cluster?
Because you get to interview people.
Because he told me to.
Okay. Thanks for talking to us.
You're welcome.
Okay, bye. Hi, what's your name?
Benjamin,
What cluster did you participate in?
Miss Brown's class.
Why did you choose that cluster? Do you remember the cluster?
I went in Miss Halen's class.
You met Miss whose?
Halen's,
You met Miss Helen's class?
I mean, it's Lemma.
Oh, what you doing there?
Do stuff about Williams' books. Like, we did calls and we did we did stuff like for adventures of like the pigeon books and the elephant and piggy books and we did calls and I really like swap those ones.
So you were with books and stuff?
Yes.
Ooh, describe a favorite activity or learning experience from the cluster.
My favorite activity was the call one.
The car?
Calls.
The cars? Why was that your favorite activity?
The last favorite activity was marbles.
Oh, that sounds fun. What future cluster would you like to join?
What is talking about?
What'd you say?
I don't know.
You don't know? That's okay. Thanks for talking to us.
Okay, bye.
Bye. Hi, what's your name?
Alexandria,
What cluster did you participate in?
stop motion magic,
Why did you choose that cluster?
because I wanted to make my own movie, and I was kind of interested in it.
So you joined the cluster because you were interested and you wanted to make your own movie?
Yes.
Well, describe a favorite activity or learning experience from the cluster.
I learned how to make your own stop motion magic, and also I thought you could make sound, but you couldn't, and I learned that you couldn't use sound to make those.
So you couldn't make sound in stop motion magic? Like you couldn't make sound the thing in it?
Yeah. Yeah, you can only move the pieces and take pictures and stuff.
Oh, okay. What future cluster would you like to join?
The cooking cluster.
The food wizards? Why did you want to join that cluster?
Because I like cooking, but it was full when I tried to join.
Oh, thanks for talking to us.
You're welcome.
Bye. Hi, what's your name?
Lucy,
What cluster did you participate in?
I participated in, I forgot which cluster though.
What'd you guys like doing it?
We got to draw a lot.
So, like the sketch one?
Yes.
Why'd you choose that cluster?
Because I wanted to be better at drawing.
So you choose the cluster because you wanted to be good at drawing, get better?
Yes.
Describe a favorite activity or learning experience from the cluster.
Learning experience.
Like, what was your favorite? What'd you do?
I got to draw
a lot of new stuff that I did not know about.
Was that your favorite?
Yes.
What future cluster would you like to join next?
I would like to join in That's So Awesome
Why would you want to join that?
because I want to sew a lot of stuff.
You want to join the So Awesome because you want to sew?
Yes.
Thanks for talking to us. Hi, what's your name?
Button,
What cluster did you participate in?
I'm the same one of Lucy.
The same one as,
Lucy.
what was it? It was the sketch one?
Yeah.
Why did you choose that cluster?
Because I know I'm good at art and I always draw a lot, so I wanted to draw in that cluster.
Describe your favorite activity or learning experience from the cluster.
I learned about how to draw some more, and I did one of my favorites. It was the really cute one I made.
So that was the favorite. That was your favorite.
Mhm.
What future cluster would you want to join?
I don't know. There's a lot to choose from, so I don't know.
If the sketch one was the same one next year, would you join it?
Probably yes.
Okay, thanks for talking to us. Hi, what's your name?
My name is Kiara.
What cluster did you participate in?
I participated in Busy Bees
Why did you choose that cluster?
because I like acting.
You choose the cluster because you like acting?
Yes.
Describe a favorite activity or learning experience from the cluster.
My favorite activity was like getting our roles
Why was that? So that was your favorite? But why?
because it's a surprise of which role you got.
It was a surprise which one you got?
Yeah.
What future cluster would you like to join?
I'm not really sure which clusters you're going to be.
If the Busy Bees Theater was the same one next year, well, we're not going to be here. But if there was in sixth grade, would you join it?
Yes.
Okay, thanks for talking to us. Hi, what's your name?
Susanna.
What cluster did you participate in? What did you do?
I sewed.
So you were in the that's so awesome.
Yes.
Why'd you choose that cluster?
'Cause I like to sew.
You choose the cluster because you like to sew?
Yes.
What did you make?
I made glove monsters, and the others, the plastic thing where you make the hearts and stuff.
What future cluster would you like to join?
Super Sketchers.
Why'd you want to join that cluster?
'Cause I like to sketch.
I skipped a question, but what the question was, describe a favorite activity or learning experience from the cluster.
Glove monster.
Your favorite was making the glove monster?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Why was it your favorite?
Because I liked it when I cut out the shapes so we can make the glove, and I sewed it together.
That sounds fun. Thank you for talking to us.
You're welcome.
Hi, what's your name?
Hello.
What cluster did you participate in?
That's so awesome.
Why'd you choose that cluster?
Because I wanted to know how to sew, and I thought it would be a very fun activity.
So you picked the cluster because you like sewing?
I chose it because I wanted to learn how to sew, because my big sister, I really want to, show her, because she has a lot of yarn.
Okay. Describe a favorite activity or learning experience from the cluster?
The dream catcher.
Why was that your favorite?
Because it was very nice and easy, and the rest of them were kind of hard.
You liked it? It was your favorite because it was easy, but that the rest was hard?
Yeah.
What future cluster would you want to join?
Just anything that has like a fun activity that's outdoors or like sewing.
So you'd want to join anything that's like outdoors or sewing?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you for talking to us.
Welcome. You're welcome.
Hi, what's your name?
Charlotte,
What cluster did you participate in?
Super Sketchers,
Why did you pick that cluster?
because I like to sketch.
You picked the cluster because you like to sketch?
Yes.
What did you sketch?
I sketched a fox.
You drew a fox? Okay. Why? Oh. Describe a favorite activity or learning experience from the cluster.
The fox.
That was your favorite? The fox? What future cluster would you want to join?
Something, I don't know.
You don't know? But if you had the same cluster next year, would you join it?
Yes,
Why?
because it was very fun.
It was very fun? Okay, thank you. Good job. Hi, what's your name?
Gianna,
What cluster did you participate in?
stop motion magic.
Why did you choose that cluster?
Because you get to go on the tablets and make stop motion things.
Describe a favorite activity or learning experience from the cluster.
I don't know.
That's okay. What future cluster would you like to join?
Knitting.
Thanks for talking to us.
You're welcome.
Hi, what's your name?
Wyatt Thornbull.
What cluster did you participate in?
Moving in the mind.
Okay. Why did you choose that cluster?
Because it sounds fun.
Describe your favorite activity or learning experience from the cluster.
We did movements.
Okay. What cluster will you future like to join? You can say
I don't know.
Thank you for joining us. Hi, what's your name?
Charlotte.
What cluster do you participate in?
I'm camera shy. I forget.
Why do you choose that cluster?
Because it's fun and I like the outdoors.
Me too. Describe your favorite activity or learning experience from the cluster.
I like to build things and I like to I don't know what else. I just like to build.
What cluster will you like to join in the future?
I want to sketch.
Thank you for joining us.
Wow, that was interesting activity. We were able to experience today. We hope you enjoyed seeing the Charles Barnum Discovery Expo. Thanks. Reporting for GPS 19. My name is Chase.
And Saul.
Thanks for watching. Bye.
Bye.